The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by WorkSimple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Lock in every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Tracer Rounds targeting veteran resources.
I wonder why life feels like chaos, like tracer rounds flying all around you. That's why I created the Tracer Rounds podcast. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I help cut through the noise and point veterans to those resources they need. Since 2023, join me.
To hear interviews with veteran artists, veteran business owners, and businesses that support veterans. Catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and MB Radio. If you miss a show, you can listen again on Wreaths Across America Radio every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to see if you are on target. MBR, giving veterans a voice.
And welcome back to Tracer Rounds, and you're on Military Broadcast Radio, where we do give veterans a voice, and we also give a voice to those that support veterans. And so tonight's voice is to Ma Bell, and she is an entertainer, performer extraordinaire. So welcome, Ma.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So excited to have you tonight. So can you give our audience a little bit of backstory about maybe where you grew up, and if you grew up singing and performing, what was your what were you like as a youngster?
As a youngster, I was a handful. My grandfather was a pastor, so I played piano in the church, and I sang all the time in the church growing up. And then I sang in choir in school. And from there, I was in two bands, a spiritual praise, and the other one was the Parson Family Band. And so music's always,
You've been performing for a long time then, in other words.
Yeah, my dad, he was an awesome, he played guitar by ear, and he sounded just like Hank Williams. So it was in our family all the way around. So,
wow. So you've always been a performer of some type and always liked to sing. So how did you use that into adulthood? If you were singing as a child and then you grew up, so did you sing anywhere? Did you go to college and sing, or go to choir, or what was that like for you?
I believe it or not, I started doing a lot of karaoke, and it was kind of hilarious because that's kind of how I adapted to costumes as well. I didn't have a lot of confidence, actually. Just a few little comments made me feel like not good enough. But anyway, I did a few little karaoke contests and learned that if I did costumes, that would count in my score. And so I ended up being everything from ZZ Top to a big red solo cup to Lady Gaga to Cyndi Lauper. And it was so much fun. But the lesson I took away from there was if I messed up, people were looking at the character and they didn't see me. So I learned to gain some confidence that way. And then I became a DJ myself. And I started encouraging other people that was afraid to get up to sing. I'm like, I'll sing with you. And so it just seems like in waves that music has come and it's gone. It's stuck around now for 10 years, but 10, 12, 13, who's counting? But anyway, that's the humorous side of that. Kind of makes the costume kind of make a little sense anyway.
Right. So when did you create the character Ma Bell, the one you're exhibiting now? I mean, this is the character, right? This is how you perform.
Yeah, and this character stuck around. I wrote a fishing song, which was hilarious. I'd been fishing one day, and I realized I kept going to get night crawlers, and I one day was joking because I'd spent $20 on night crawlers. So I started humming a little jingle. I was sitting on my couch and I started to think. So we put the hat and a fishing dress together for pictures. And then people started asking me to do fundraisers in this costume. And then eventually, that dress stuck around for at least 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I want something different. So ended up finding different dresses like red, white, and blue. And ironically, then I was shopping at the Goodwill one day and I found this. And I'm like, oh, I'm so patriotic. I've got to have that. So this has stuck around for a while now.
I love that. So you perform all kinds of different places. When you DJ, do you also perform too, or just DJ?
I just DJ when I'm DJing, and it's weird because I do a whole lot of things. I do music bingo and stuff at assisted livings and name that tune, and then I'll play oldies to now, and then when I'll do Ma Belle as well, and she does her thing. I call us different, and it's really fun. But it's a good one thing I've learned is the show must go on no matter what. So, but yeah, I have a real good time with both. So
how long did you say you were doing Ma Belle for? How long have you had this character that you've been performing as?
It's been at least 5 years now.
5 years. Okay. And so before that, you had several other characters, you said. And so did you always, well, you said that you've performed all your life, but has that always been a goal to be a performer or to be on stage or to really get to someplace with a career in music or entertainment in general?
I have a motto that never too old to dream. I've had a dream of performing at the Grand Ole Opry since a child.
Wow.
And my dream has been to get up and sing and be able to entertain. But I had I was a little backwards, and I thought, I can't do that. And now it's just like, never say you can't never, because you can, and you never know when you're going to. But I struggled with a lot of things because growing up, I really wanted to be in swing choir, and they only picked so many. And when you didn't get picked, it was like, so, I kind of took a beating when people kind of made fun of me too. Well, the funny thing is, in costume, people make fun of me, but I'm having so much fun that I wouldn't have it any other way. So,
well, it's like you said, it doesn't seem like it's you that they're talking about. It's the character they're talking about, and not you. So it's easier not to take it personally if they're saying something that maybe isn't quite as nice or something you didn't really want to hear when they're talking to the costume. And it's like, okay, that's just the costume. That's not me. I'm different.
Yeah.
But I have heard a lot of performers, once they're on stage, they are whoever that persona is, so if they're a character typically on stage, even if it looks just like them and they don't put on any kind of clothing, special clothing other than maybe a special outfit for that particular concert, it's still a persona they're putting on, and it's still not them. And then when they come off of it, then they're like, and they can take a breath. So
and that is true. That is so true.
Yeah. I interviewed somebody else, and he's like just 100% activity all the time. And I'm like, aren't you exhausted? And he goes, yes. He goes, when I come off the stage, I just crash.
I can definitely identify that. And I call it a lot of adrenaline. And I'll tell you, with this new song, it's funny because I'm an older entertainer, and I use muscles that I probably shouldn't. And when I get off stage, I'm like, oh, but I've had so much fun that it don't seem to matter. But I kind of forget I'm older, and I really move and shake and dance. And so I feel the music for sure. And that's what I want for other people too. I think as an entertainer, I think that's why I'm so animated, because I really want my audience to feel that energy, and I want them to interact and dance and clap and sing as well.
Right, to get involved and be part of the performance. Yeah. So you wrote a song, and you said it came from the trucking song?
Yes, we wrote Freedom Truckers when the truckers were rallying and going to Washington. And I actually got the privilege to DJ one of them, but I got to sing my song at Tennessee at Lebanon. And I actually got to walk down through all the veterans, the truck drivers, and hand them my CD. And it was such an honor. And the one thing I'll tell you, if nobody was at that event, you've missed it, because it was, in fact, historically. I never will forget the pride in my heart as I seen them all leave and honking their horns and the flags. And that was a part of history that I had never seen in my life. Yeah. And I think at that point, I had a lot more respect for our song, even because it wasn't just a song. It meant something. And it was our gift to the truckers. And so the same thing, I was at an American Legion, and somebody said, will you please sing that Freedom Truckers song? And I did. And I said, boy, it's been a while. And I came home and I got to thinking, I said, we really need to write something for our veterans and show them we appreciate it. And at that point, I wasn't thinking about American 250th, but it came right at the right time, and it hit platinum so fast on Airplay Express in 1 week, and that never happens. So we were going to do a video and all that. Well, we're kind of backwards. We don't have the video done yet, but absolutely loving that song. And it's not even about us at all. When I get out there, I have so much pride when I pass out the flag. And I realized that the lyrics to that song is to every branch of the military. Somebody once said, even Space Force. Yes, even Space Force. And that song is different than some people would listen to, including myself. But I absolutely love the energy, and what I've been seeing performing that is people celebrating veterans. When I pass out the flags, they wave the flags and they chant, hey, hey, USA. And I would love nothing more than to just go out and perform that at all these veterans events, because it's with great honor that I'm able to sing that.
Awesome.
And say thank you for your service.
Well, let's play it, and then we can finish talking about it. But it's "Hey Hey USA" by Ma Bell. Here we go.
Hey USA, hey hey USA, hey hey USA, hey hey USA, hey hey USA. Move to the left, move to the right. Stop 2 times, now jump tonight. Army, Navy, who's in the house? Coast Guard, Air Force, hear us shout. Space Force flying, Marines hit the floor. Freedom rocking, give me more. Hey, hey, USA. 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 Guard the borders, watch the sky. Stand that post, no compromise. Army strong on land they stand. Navy rules the sea command. Coast Guard saving lives offshore. Air Force thunder, hear it roar. Space Force eyes up in the night. Marines first in, ready to fight. Build and defend, protect our home from small town streets to the combat zone. Train all day, prepare for more freedom, strong from shore to shore. Hey, hey, USA. 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 Okay, everybody, we're gonna say the Pledge of Allegiance. Repeat
That was really well put together. So how did it come together with that kind of music? Were you expecting it to sound like that when you had written the words? Oops. Hold on. You're muted. So if you want to unmute real quick, we can hear you.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. So were you expecting it to turn out just like that?
I really was not at all. When I sent it to him with the lyrics, he tweaked the lyrics too, but I said, I want something that'll be energetic, and I would like something like We the People, something like, so we brainstormed and came up with, I love the Pledge of Allegiance at the end.
Yes.
And it was kind of funny because he always knows how to put it together. But when it came to me, I listened to it the first time and I kind of did a pause, like, I wanted it danceable. I wanted, but then, it just became so fun. And even in the studio, just working with him, like when you hear the echo on the Pledge of Allegiance, that's just he and I. He had that idea of making that echo, and he is just brilliant. Like, I mean, really brilliant. And so it was a lot of fun in studio. It's a lot of fun out studio. And I wouldn't do any different. I said to him, I said, we need to write more stuff like this. So, but yeah, it's so much fun.
And so who was the one that helped you produce this?
Bob McGilpin. He's
Bob
from Nashville. And he's
Nice.
with Mick Music Studio, and really good producer. If anybody ever needs one, he's amazing.
Awesome. So you said we were talking backstage before, and you said you went to the CMAs this year?
Yes. I performed for the Divas and Jude Showcase at the Troubadour 2 nights, like on Friday and Saturday.
Very nice. How was that?
That was amazing. And there was quite a few people there. And the talent, what I can tell you is if you ever get a chance to do something like that, it becomes like so cool because you get to meet so many amazing, talented people. And for you to fit into that circle, I just can't even explain the gratitude that I have to be able to do that.
Definitely. And so you said this song has, Hey Hey USA is already platinum?
Yes, it was out 1 week and it hit platinum on Airplay Express.
Oh, wow. So, and you told me too that you had just won an award. Do you want to tell us about that?
I got Female Vocalist of the Year, and it came from the Infinity Music and Film Awards. And I'm so blessed. I cried because, again, there's so many good vocalists in Nashville that I just didn't feel that I measured up. And this is actually a fan-voted award. So for my fans to have this much faith in me, they've got a lot more in me than I do. And so I still want to cry when I look at it, and I keep it in a box so it won't break. But yeah, it's pretty special.
Definitely. That's really neat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So you said that you perform at county fairs and you perform at American Legions, it sounds like, and veterans centers. How is that? And how do you get booked for those types of things?
I do, and you notice this too, but I do a lot of my own work, my own networking. I send out and send out and send out, trying just to, in this instance, I've worked very hard getting this song out just because I want it out for the veterans more than myself, because it says thank you for your service. But, honestly, I go where there are opportunities. And some people, sometimes I do benefits or whatever, but I do all kinds of things. And but I really would like more opportunities to happen. I mean, if anybody wanted me to come, I'd say just reach out, because I never know where this is taking me. And one day it may be at a assisted living, and the next day it may be at the Indiana State Fair, which I did last year. And then I'll be in Vincennes in July for the civil reenactment in our county fair. But I really want to go wherever the opportunities open. And that's what I could say, because my heart is in everything that I do. And I want to do more.
So we were talking to earlier about how you kind of got started with the Ma Bell character, and originally it kind of started with Minnie Pearl.
Yes, and that happened in Nashville. I was at John A's. Back in the day, they had like open stage. And an artist had seen things that I did, like ZZ Top and different things. She goes, "Why don't you go on as Minnie Pearl?" And I said, "Can't do it." She said, "Why not?" I said, "I don't have a hat. I'll get you a hat. I don't have a dress. I'll get you a dress." And I ran out of excuses. And she says, "You know, in Nashville, when opportunity knocks, you do it." And I never will forget that. And I was almost sick. She goes, "Look, don't make it a big deal. Just go out there and go, 'Howdy.' You don't have to do her whole skit." And she said, "And then just sing Rocky Top." And I was almost sick. And but I did. And there is actually a video on YouTube where I did that. And then I ended up getting a real dress and decided that Minnie Pearl was a legend in her own time, that I needed to, she was somebody that not everybody can mimic. So we decided, just let me be myself in a different costume. Well, anyway, then that fishing song came, and we came up with a fishing hat and an old fishing dress. And so we're like, what do we call her? Ma Bell. And then I got invited to do some benefits and different things. And now this character's stuck around now for a while, and I decided to change dresses. And I think that may have happened when we were talking, was when we wrote Freedom Truckers. I think about then I decided I really wanted to be patriotic. And the only thing that's not patriotic is my hat. My shoes are glittery and rhinestones, and they say Ma Bell. Then they say "Never Too Old to Dream." But I just got a new one that says Ma Bell, "Hey, hey, USA," with a flag. Nice. Yeah, so we just keep changing, but I don't think I'll change this look at all, because it's, for one thing, it just fits. It's comfortable, and, you know, I go out there with pride. And it was amazing when we were doing rehearsals for the Opry show the other day. They were practicing 2 patriotic songs, and I was like, yes. One of them was "God Bless the USA," and there's a new one coming out by I think it's the Tennessee River Boys, and it's called, you guys all will want to hear that. It's called "The Greatest Land" or something by them, and it's getting ready to be released in July, and I love it. I asked them if I could sing it, but it's really going to be a good one. So. And they said, yes, I can. So hopefully I'll get that soon and be able to go out and share that song as well.
Very nice. So who have you met that you were like, I can't believe I got to meet this person?
There is so many people that I've got to meet. Now, one that's blown me away that you wouldn't think of, Roy August wrote "Fancy Free" for the Oak Ridge Boys. And believe it or not, he gave me one of his songs called "My Country's Get Up and Go Has Got Up and Went." And he was poking fun at the new country music. It's cute as it can be. I'm trying to think. I've actually sang on stage with Ava Barber. Out of everybody in the crowd, I was one of them that she had come up and do "Y'all Come With Her." And she was on Lawrence Welk. Diane Sherrill's pretty well known and a great stage presence. I've met her. I met Connie Smith and Marty Stewart, and the list goes on and on. Crystal Gale. I've talked she actually encouraged me. I went to one of her shows, and afterwards they had a meet and greet. And we talked for a little bit, and she encouraged me in what I'm doing, and just so many more. I mean, the list goes on and on. But those are the main ones that I have met. I actually met Jim Patrick that wrote Eye of the Tiger. And that's a funny little story. I was at the Commodore with my friend Ruth Brown. He came in and had purple hair. That's all I know. I didn't know who he was, but at the time I had purple hair. And I said, I have to have a picture with him. And two guys that were with him, that was probably his agent, was laughing because they were teasing us the whole time. They're like, what are you in town for? And I'm like, I'm a songwriter. Had no idea. He said, look him up. And it was the writer of Eye of the Tiger, and he sang with Survivor. So I'm like, oh. And I've met Johnny Cash. That was years ago as a teenager.
Oh, wow.
But,
That's exciting.
The thing I can say, though, that I love, most people that you meet that have made something of themselves, they're just such an encouragement to me, because most of them, when you get to know them, are just people. Just down-to-earth people. And, a lot of people just praise them and lift them up. But in the end, a lot of them are just really good people.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to hear that they're very encouraging of other artists, trying to make a difference and make their own way in performing. It's pretty awesome that they are supportive of independence and other people just like them that are just trying to, get their voice and their name out there.
Yeah, and I think the biggest star in my book, I have to say this, is my co-writer. He was very well known back in the day. He when disco was around there, he wrote Billboard hits like Superstar, Sexy Thing. And if you ever go watch his videos, it's something to see. He actually did flips on the stage. And when I first started writing with him, I had no clue. I was telling him, Bob, I got our song on the radio. He'd already been there and done all that, but he's so gracious. And now he's not just a producer to me. He is really, really a fantastic friend. And, nothing would mean any more to me than his friendship. So just a exceptional, great wife, and even down to the puppies. So they just love the whole family. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So we were also talking about maybe someone that you might resemble, and maybe people would think of her maybe when they're thinking about the characters you do, and your entertainment, maybe being funny and also performing lyrically and with songs, is Carol Burnett. Because when I was first seeing the character and then hearing the song and the vibe I got was Carol Burnett vibe, and she was like one of my growing up heroes. Like, I loved watching her show. I thought she was amazing and so funny, and every character she did was very unique, and she got the audience motivated and all into her characters and into her performance. And I kind of get that vibe with you as well.
Yeah, and she's got to be one of my favorites. Honestly, if I could have her for a mentor, I'd be thrilled. I don't know how you make it happen, but I would love that more than anything. But
yes, I think she's very supportive too, because it seemed like whenever I would hear stories about her that, she really helped the younger actors and actresses come up and really gave them support and really gave them encouragement. So I think she would be a perfect one to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know how you get to do that.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, I would have loved that. I would have loved to have done a skit with her. Really, that would have been the ultimate.
Right. Yeah, that would be the best of times, I think.
Uh-huh.
So what's next for you? What are you doing next? Have you got new songs in the works? You got you said you were going to be performing at the Civil War reenactment. What else is coming up?
Yeah, that's I know I have the Hamilton County Fair here in Indiana. I think that's July, it's on Friday. Is that the 16th or 17th? And then I'm in Vincennes on that Saturday. And that's going to be a fun time. They're doing a whole Civil War reenactment. There's the museum, and they say that's a great big crowd. So I'm going to have fun there, I know.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked about that you struggled with health for a while and then you really found your way out of it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this started a lot with bariatric surgery, and I still struggle a lot with vitamin deficiencies. But when I had bariatric surgery, there was a lot of different components that happened. I threw a blood clot to my lung. I had a sepsis. I really shouldn't be here. And it was a really hard time because I couldn't work. And, it seemed like I was so sick that there was really not many people around. And I found myself in a bad, bad place. And I wanted to end my life, and I can talk about it now, but I didn't. And I'm so thankful because when I had my pills there, and I was writing my note, and I hit the piano, and I wrote my first song called Oh What a Friend, which I haven't released yet, which I hope to do soon because couldn't talk about it for a while. But the song is actually about when nobody was there, God was with me. And from that song, it took me to Nashville to the Songwriters Festival. And from that, other songwriters let me sing some of their material, so I had enough to be there. And eventually I started writing more. I thought that would be my only song. No, we've written quite a few, and I've had people write, even music for me. And I had no idea back then where that would take me because, again, I felt like I wasn't good enough. But it's just been one stepping stone after another. And it's just like I can't believe that the things that's happened in my music career. And I have to be very grateful to everybody that's kind of been supportive and taken me there, because if I had relied on my own faith, I probably wouldn't have worked this hard and I wouldn't be as far as I am. But I think the fact that where I'm at now, I just know that it's not an option to quit or give up. And even when times are hard, which they do get hard, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of money to go chase your dream. It takes a lot of dedication and practice because of the vitamin deficiencies, I don't remember all my lyrics, but that's turned into a fun thing too, because we talked about that. When the music comes on, the hat comes on, I change and I animate and just go with whatever. And I can forget a whole paragraph, but somehow it works for me. I seem to be able to make up words, and that kind of becomes, people think that's part of my act, but I'm like, oops. But I have a lot of fun, and I think I've realized that it's okay just to be myself and not try to go out and be somebody I'm not. Even though I'm in a costume, I still in one way am myself, but I'm a different myself. It's the one that has fun and has a joyous time watching other people have fun. And, there's been all kinds of things that's happened in my walk. For instance, I was at a assisted living and a woman could not speak. She didn't speak, but one day we heard her cry out. So it was like that song touched her. I've seen in different places I've gone where people just kind of sit and be backwards, and every now and then they'll sing along or they'll clap, and you're like, they're with me. And I think that I realize now that what I do isn't for myself. It's to make people laugh and bring them joy, even if it's just for a few minutes. And even I like it. I love it when they are with me and they're clapping and they're singing songs. So now I try to do a few of my originals, but I really try to do a lot of songs that people know. And I throw people because, for instance, the other night, a guy I'd known forever, he's on Heaven's Country. He's a radio announcer. I came out and I did Dreams Are Made in the USA, which is one of ours. And then I did Hey, Hey, USA. And then I threw in ABBA Dancing Queen. And he goes, I've heard you do everything, but I didn't ever see that coming. So anyway, they were all out dancing, and I'm like, yes, this is what I need to do. But yeah, you never know what I'm going to sing. I always throw that one, like at the music awards. I think it was Music Star Awards in the end of last year. I threw in Uptown Funk and rewrote it for the award show. So,
Oh my goodness, that's
and so
awesome.
you hear that, duh, 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 and they think they know what's coming out of my mouth, but it didn't. It was a whole different right. So you just never know. And I think that's the one thing people enjoy about my show, because they don't know what to expect. I might go from your cheating heart to Dancing Queen to maybe Mr. Postman. I'm all over the place. I try to do something that anybody, any age will know something. I'll throw a little gospel in there, a little country, a little rock and roll, and just like I said, have a lot of fun.
What's your favorite type of song to sing?
Oh boy. I have to say that I absolutely am a fan of the patriotic stuff. I love to pay tribute, and nothing gives me more honor. I'm totally a little bit different. When I sing God Bless the USA, I'm not just singing, I feel it. And before I know it, that hand's going out there. Like I proudly stand up. So those songs mean something. I think you could sing any style, any kind of music, but I think when things mean something, maybe that's where I'm at, because it can even be something from Amazing Grace. But I think the ones that I like singing the most that actually do mean something and speak to people's hearts.
I love that. I love that you are that motivated patriotically to really put the passion in those songs. I mean, I'm sure you put passion in everything, but for me, those songs really hit home too, and they really strike a chord with my heart when I hear something like that. Whenever I'm searching for new music to put on our radio station, I look for patriotic songs. I look for songs about veterans. I look for songs about struggle and overcoming, because those songs resonate with me, and then I hope it does in turn with the people that we're supporting. So I love it that you say, those patriotic songs really mean a lot and really get you motivated and moving in the song, really. So that's really exciting to hear.
And when I do the national anthem, it's not just getting up and singing the national anthem. I think it's a matter of honoring the veterans. I actually will say, okay, who's a veteran? We want to pay tribute to you. So it's not just, okay, anybody can sing the national anthem. I think it's giving our veterans the honor that's due them.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we try to do that here too, is give all of our veterans a voice and give them the respect they deserve and the voice they deserve in the community. So I love that. So do you have veterans in your family or anybody close to you that served, or is the passion just, coming from a place of patriotism?
That's an interesting question. I often wish somebody in my family was a veteran. My uncle is, because I've always wanted to join the veterans. But I think honestly, for me, because I don't have a lot of veterans in my family, but I do know a lot of veterans and I am friends with a lot. I think for me is just the appreciation for their sacrifices and appreciation for my freedom, for our freedom. And I think that's where the patriotism comes from. I think every time and I think especially now too, because all the stuff that goes on in this world, I think sometimes people forget what all our veterans sacrificed so that we could be free. And things are bad again. And, we wrote that song, America, She's Crying. And so I just think it's just my heartfelt appreciation for our veterans and realizing what all, and there's been shows I've been in with that you just feel it. I mean, I think if you love our veterans, you just feel it. Like when you hear patriotic songs, it's not a matter of just singing along, but when you feel it in your heart, you know that you have a patriotic spirit.
Right. I agree.
I mean,
Where's
anybody
your
can sing a song, but
Where's your favorite place to perform? What venue do you like the most?
well, my dream's a Grand Ole Opry. And I think the biggest one, I love the Indiana State Fair, and I was hoping to be back there again this year. But the stage I was at last year, they got rid of, so they wasn't sure where to put me. So anyway, that happens, but I believe when one door closes, other doors will open. And that's
Yeah.
just the way I've done this whole Ma Belle career. You know, if there's some really good stuff that happened, and then there's some disappointments along the way. So it's just like our interview. When the door opens, it's fantastic. And I want to say thank you before I forget it.
Oh yeah.
But,
We're happy to
yeah,
have you.
yeah, and I'm just like, I really want to be able to go out more, really. I go out a lot though. I do about 3 to 4 shows a week now.
A
Now that
lot.
I do assisted livings, um, but and it's really joyous, and I was just elated that I get to do the Civil War
Yeah.
reenactment. I think that's going to be fantastic. So, but
Definitely.
yeah, I just say anybody wants me to come out, just you've got my number to post, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I would absolutely love to perform at any event when the door opens.
And
Oh,
there's
look
the
at that.
social
Yeah,
media there. There's the website and the Facebook. Yeah,
you
just
got it. Yeah.
look Ma Belle up. I'm gonna have to look up America She's Crying. I don't think I've heard that one, so I think I wanna check that one out. I wish I would have had that one for the show so we could play that too.
Yeah. Believe it or not, that's an interesting one. I started writing that by myself about, I think it was like probably 5 years now, really. It was about 4 or 5 years because it's been out for a little bit. It was around the last election, not this last one, but the one before.
Uh-huh.
And I started writing some of the lyrics because of child trafficking and stuff. And I just threw it in the drawer. And then I got COVID. It sat
Oh,
there for a
goodness.
while. And I happened to come across that. And I'm like, I really need to do something with that. And it was about the next election. And those lyrics changed all the way around. It said, what happened to America? We used to be so strong. And it talks about what's going to happen to our Constitution. What's happening to our Constitution is oh so very wrong. Why won't our people stand up and fight? It's really talking about we need to unite. And that's one thing I was going to tell you, too, that was really cool about the trucker thing. That was like a moment in history for me. And I think that was actually the beginning for me. I had never, ever seen people unite like that to stand up for what they believed in. And I think that touched me so deeply when I seen the truckers with their flags. And then when I got the honor of walking back along all the truckers, talking to them, fellowshipping with them, giving them my CD and signing it, I thought, they should be signing my CD. And I think that that's where patriotism actually hit me and actually struck a chord, because I think it's the people that unite for things that they believe in is very important. And I think that's the best way to describe veterans. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but the fact that they have been united to fight for our country and to stand up for the things that they believe in. And some of us are so weak that we wouldn't stand up and fight. And so I think that's where the whole patriotism for me actually became very real.
Yeah. Well, you're right. When there's a community of like-minded people, that's where the power is. So veterans, when there's a group of veterans and we're all like-minded, that's where the power is. So I can understand what you're saying when you were with those truckers, because when there's a united mission, when everyone's, focused on the goal, it can be very powerful and very inspiring and very moving.
I had never experienced, that feeling in my life. And honestly, I don't think it was just the truckers either. I think when they pulled out with their flags, I think that was a moment for me that this is history. And I don't think it was so much the truckers, but just seeing the flags wave and we're doing something we believe in,
Right. Yeah, when you see a row of flags, it inspires you. At least it does me when I see them either lined up alongside the road, or there's a sea of flags for Memorial Day or Veterans Day or the 4th of July, anytime, or Flag Day for that matter. Whenever they put out the flags, it's very inspiring. And I think a lot of people are touched and moved when they see the flag up close. You see it on a flagpole and when you pass by and you're like, oh, there's the flag. But when you see a sea of flags,
Yeah.
it's different.
Just see them over the overpasses and,
Yes.
it's just something amazing. And it's something I'll never forget. It was just totally historic for me.
Definitely. So are you in Tennessee? Are you in Kentucky? What part of the US are you in?
I'm in Indiana, but I
Indiana.
actually perform a lot in Kentucky, and I go to Tennessee every chance I get.
Okay.
So every time I get an open door, I'm there.
I don't blame you. Like you said, you got to go where opportunity is knocking. So if it's telling you to head south to Kentucky or to Tennessee, then definitely you should do that. So you said Grand Ole Opry. How do you get there? What is your goal? What is your game plan to get there?
The Grand Ole Opry is really, truly grand. And you don't just go perform on the Grand Ole Opry. It takes someone inviting you.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, I'm fine. The fact that I've actually got to step on that stage and sing and to stand in that circle. But it would be an absolute honor to be able to entertain in that circle. But if I never get that opportunity, I feel like that dream has come true.
Right. Yeah. Just being there, even if it's not as you as a headline or invited to be a singer, but you performing there and, like you said, being on the circle. I mean, I think that's pretty awe-inspiring by itself.
Yeah. It's a very, very awesome show with very, very amazing talent that's in that show. So, but yeah. And who knows? Everybody says you're going to make it one day. And I said, well, if I don't, I've made it to the stage and I've sang in an amazing choir. That choir, if anybody ever goes to Nashville, I'd highly recommend that show. It's Sunday Morning Country with Music City Christian Fellowship. It's a 90 artist choir. There are artists in that choir. And there was 90 of us this year. And
Wow.
I'm just like, wow. And, we rehearsed 4 days, and then, Saturday's a full day. And then you go out and do that show. And it's just like the acoustics in there and just the fellowship. I can't say enough about that song for sure. I look forward to that show every year.
Nice. So you have gone every year? How many years have you done that?
This made my third, so next year will be my fourth. But yeah,
that's pretty awesome to get to do that too.
It's an honor, and it truly is. And like I said, there's some really amazing artists on there. Brenda Lee used to be the MC.
Oh, wow.
And, the last couple of years, she has not been able to make it. And then last year, Ray Stevens was supposed to be on there. And then he had an incident happen to where he couldn't be there. But they have some pretty awesome artists. Like I know this year, Opry Nicole was a finalist from The Voice. And
oh, wow.
She was there. And they had... I think it was Cutter and Cash, amazing bluegrass band. But they had a variety of all kinds of music, and it was all Christian music, but it was very fantastic.
Yeah. I can imagine it was. So, is there something that I didn't ask you that you want to put out to our audience? Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you wanted to tell us about before we get off the air tonight?
I think you covered everything. You did a very good interview, and I
Oh,
enjoyed
thank
it a
you.
lot.
Yeah, well, we enjoyed having you. Really enjoy that your patriotism and the character you've created because I think it resonates well with people. And it's really interesting to me that you wrote America's Crying back about 4 years ago because it's so relevant to what's going on today that I think it's well timed to be re-released or brought back to the surface now because of what's going on. There's so much dissension among our U.S. Different areas that it really needs to have some cohesiveness again and some uniting. And so I think what you're doing is helping that because I haven't ever attended a concert, but I would love to, and I could just see the energy that you bring is very inspiring, and it would get people up out of their seats and chanting and singing and saying the pledge, and I think that kind of entertainment is what we need. We need less of some other types and more of this type to kind of really unite us again. So I really applaud what you're doing because I think it's very important. And I love the character you created
Thank you.
because I think Ma Bell resonates with a lot of people.
I appreciate that. Like
Yes,
I
ma'am.
said, I'd go anywhere to sing the national anthem, and I do several. I do God Bless the USA, and now Hey Hey USA, and America She's Crying. Yeah, that's on a lot of our music. Taking It Back's a really rock. I call it rock,
Mhm.
and that's about taking our country back.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll have to listen to that one too. I wish I would have downloaded it so we could play it.
yeah, but yeah, all of those are on my Spotify under Kathy Bell.
Okay.
I, yeah, most of my songs are there. I think there's one called Miss Procrastinator, which is a cute little jingle. Um, it's poking fun at procrastination. It's under my Ma Bell character, and I started going back to putting all my songs under Kathy Bell because it was causing confusion. And I don't know why CD Baby did that, but it released all of them but one on Kathy Bell, and the other one was on Ma Bell. And I'm like, well, we're just going to tell people you can find me at Kathy Bell.
Right.
So, yeah. And I would love nothing more than all of our veterans. I would love, honestly, if there was ever an opportunity. I've been dreaming of this since this song came out, to do this song in a TikTok video with veterans. And I would love nothing more than that because it's saying thanks to every branch of the military. I would absolutely love that to go viral and everybody do their own dance to it.
I think you need to get plugged in with Atticus Ray because he's doing a 250th birthday celebration for the U.S. and he's tap dancing across the U.S. and he's hopefully planning to come to Texas is one of the places he's planning to come, and he's asking for performers to come in as part of this celebration. So it would be a really neat thing to see the Ma Bell character come into this 250th anniversary. He's not actually going to do the performance or put it out till next year because he's just gathering all of the different footage and everything this year to actually broadcast it next year.
Can you send me his information so I can reach out to him? I'd love that.
Yeah, I think it would be really great. So if you've not seen Atticus Ray, you can, Google search him. He's on Apple TV, and he is like the modern day Fred Astaire is who they kind of compare him to.
I would love that.
So and he's a younger guy too, and so Fred Astaire to me has one kind of persona, and Atticus has like a whole other, he's a modern day one, like, tap dancing in the water and tap dancing on stacks of things and tops of roofs of trucks and whatnot. Like, he's crazy. I'd be like, I would fall down. I would not.
He might be an inspiration to me to try some different things.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. So I'll have to see what we can do about connecting you guys together and see how maybe you can plug into that performance.
I would love that. Love it. Love it. Love it.
That would be really neat. Well, we've just got a few minutes left. So anything that you want to put out before we get off the air?
I don't think so. I think I would just say thanks to anybody who is tuned in. And if you'd like, I'd love for them to follow me. And I've been making this habit. Some people say, I can't join your Facebook. You've got too many friends. Well, Ma Bell doesn't. And if you really want to be on my friends, just message me. I'll make it happen. But anyway, yeah, honestly, it's so good to be here, and it's an honor. And I really want to thank anybody that, supports our veterans. And so I would love to share this to everybody I know, this interview. So will I be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll send you the file, audio and video file after we get off the air.
Okay. But I think you've covered everything. And I would just say if there's any veterans events that you would like me to come, just reach out, because I would love to do them, and I would do them with honor.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you for sharing your story. And really, it's an inspiration knowing that, you faced a lot of adversity in your life, but then you turned it around and you turned it into something positive. So it really shows resilience on your part. And it really shows that, people can overcome if they just put their mind to it. Yes, things can be tough. And yes, things aren't always as you'd want them to be. And they aren't always perfect, but you can make, you can make lemonade out of lemons, as they say.
Yes.
So, sometimes it's harder to find the lemonade, but you could do it, right?
Right.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this is Teresa Round signing off. And thank you so much, Ma Bell, for coming on tonight. And we look forward to hearing more from you.
Yeah, I would love to come back anytime.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.